What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Excuse me. Now, before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now 232 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the year. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. What would you consider to be the... Actually, you know what? Actually, let me rephrase my question. The question of the day is this. Who do you believe should not have been released of their contract with WWE in their time? And why do you think that person should come back to WWE? Let me know down in the comments below. And speaking of releases, we actually have some unfortunate breaking news that apparently, unfortunately Baron Corbin Indi, Hartwell, and Tegan have all been released of their contracts with WWE, and it's weird. It's weird because there have been It's weird because there have been a lot of rumors going around saying that their contracts were gonna get renewed sometime in the next like couple of months or something like that. But we found out that all three have indeed been released by WWE. Now, obviously, this was reported literally by Fightful Select. Big shout out, no copyrights, as always. And get this, ready? This was actually announced just hours before SmackDown this past Friday. Literally. And obviously, Baron Corbin found out, Corbin knew, Tegan Knox knew, Indi Hartwell had no idea this was gonna happen. She literally took to X and was like, wait a minute, what? What just happened? Am I being released? What the fuck is going on? And the funny thing is that her last match in WWE was actually this past Friday, in a tag team match where it was Indi and Candice in a losing to obviously the team of Bayley and of course Naomi, both who are former women's champions, if in their own right. And she again she was shocked, and she literally responded by saying, "Wait, what?" And then Corbin was like, "Well, that's all she wrote, folks." And now obviously now they are now officially in a 90-day no compete clause, meaning that they can't do anything for the next 3 months, and they'll be free. They'll be completely free, and they'll be free agents in February next year. And and it's weird though, because Indi Hartwell even also said as well, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." And and even Corbin also took to X and tweeted out saying that that's all she wrote, folks. It's been real, and I appreciate everyone who supported me. Where Tegan Knox said, quote, "Some things are just out of your control, and you can only do as much as you can. It's clear one thing up, though. Let's clear one thing up, though. I'm ready. I've been ready. Just have to show people what they've missed." So it's weird. It's weird because with Tegan, she started her career in WWE back in early 2017 as part of the, or rather originally as part of the Mae Young Classic, but because of her injury, she wasn't able to compete in the first ever Mae Young Classic. But in the second Mae Young Classic, she got into the second round and got eliminated by Rhea Ripley due to injury. And she was released in November of 2021, like literally right around this time 3 years ago, and returned to WWE in December a couple of years ago. And her last televised match in WWE was on Raw back in April. Teaming up with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, now part of obviously Pure Fusion Collective, in a loss to Damage Control. And the reason why she's being released mostly is because of all the injuries that she's had. As far as Corbin goes, I mean, creatively speaking, there really wasn't much going on, especially after he had teamed up with Apollo Crews to deal with Legado del Fantasma. there was like not much going on. And in my honest opinion, as much as I would have, as much as I loved to see Baron Corbin get called up back to the main roster, I think it's time. I think that was that was a bad judgment call on WWE's part, because Corbin was already doing some massive things in NXT. He had multiple opportunities at the NXT title. He had won the Dusty Cup alongside Braun Breaker, and they also went on to become tag team champions in NXT and had a hell of a showing back in April at Stand and Deliver. And when they lost the titles to Nathan Fraser and Axiom, we knew full well that Braun Breaker was gonna get called up. Corbin was gonna get called up, but they were gonna go their separate ways. And honestly, I think Breaker had a much more better showing on the main roster than Corbin did. So I feel like Baron Corbin should have stayed in NXT. Excuse me, just a little bit longer. Like maybe stay for about another year or so, and then get called up to the main roster. And by that point, maybe Corbin could have been a huge threat to pretty much any champion that he wanted to go after, whether it was Cody Rhodes and the WWE title, or whether it was LA Knight and the US title, or if he went over to Raw, he could have remained a tag team with Braun Breaker, and they could have taken out the Judgment Day and become tag team champions, which again is possible. But with him teaming up with Apollo Crews, it just became a foregone conclusion that there was gonna be nothing going on. Obviously, yes, they did attempt to qualify. I think qualify for a potential shot at the tag titles on SmackDown, but after that, there was nothing. There was nothing else going on for Baron Corbin. So as crazy as it sounds, I think Corbin's release was, I wouldn't say it was a foregone conclusion, but I wouldn't say it was unexpected either, because when you really think about it, again, creatively speaking, there was nothing else going on. So it's what do you do? It's like there's really not much you can do except give Corbin his release. Let him do his own thing outside of WWE for maybe a year or two, then have him come back to WWE, maybe be a part of NXT again, and then jump ship back over to the main roster and become a massive threat to whoever he wanted to go after, the same way he was when he was on the main roster the first time around, obviously winning Money in the Bank and of course becoming United States champion. Now, as far as Indi Hartwell goes, this was completely unexpected, and the reason for it is because she and Candice LeRae were in a tag team. They were on their way to doing massive things. Obviously, Candice LeRae, being the first ever women's speed champion, and I feel like there needs to be justice for Indi Hartwell, because I feel like that team could have gone on to become tag team champions. And I know that because when Candice and Indi were a part of Johnny Gargano's faction in NXT known as The Way, Candice and Indi went on to become women's tag team champions. In fact, I think they held the titles for quite some time, actually. In fact, I actually want to look that up. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. I actually do want to check that out. Let's see. Here are titles. Speed title, women's speed title. Here we are. Women's tag team titles. Actually, no. That's not the one I wanted. What I want are the NXT women's tag team titles. Here we are. So when you really looking at, where are they? Oh, here we are. Okay. So obviously we know that Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez went on to become the first ever tag team champions, and then of course Ember Moon and Shotzi won the titles that same night, and held the titles for 55 days, and then Candice and Indi won the titles and held it for 62 days. And if you can believe it, the longest reigning tag team champions are actually none other than Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Held the titles for 186 days, where as opposed to I believe Toxic Attraction in their first run 157 days, which is which is incredible. So obviously they could have had went on to try to take the women's tag team titles off of Jade and Bianca, the same way that they did against Shotzi and Ember in that street fight, which I truly believe that again, there needs to be justice for Indi, because her getting released completely unexpected. No one saw this coming. Tegan Knox and Barry Corbin, that's one thing, because obviously, the injuries that Tegan kept suffering, and with the fact that there was nothing going on creatively for Baron Corbin, that's one thing. But Indi Hartwell, people forget, aside from her becoming a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, she's a former NXT Women's Champion as well, and did some incredible things in NXT after the way had split up. Because when you really look at it, all the members of the way, Indi, Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and of course Dexter Lumis, they all went their separate ways. Candice and Johnny went on to start a family. Candice ended up being, and I think got pregnant got pregnant after they lost the tag titles. Funny enough, Gargano ended up leaving WWE after War Games. After War Games, Dexter got called up, or rather was slated to get called up to the main roster, but he got released. Theory went on to win Money in the Bank and the United States title twice in his career, and went on to face John Cena at WrestleMania, where as far as NXT goes, Indi Hartwell was the only one left. So she was just doing her own thing, and she went on to become an NXT Women's Champion, which she earned it, by the way. She deserved to be NXT Women's Champion. And I think, honestly, WWE made a bad judgment call as far as Indi Hartwell goes, because she could have done a lot of big things, but I know for a fact that we'll see them again in WWE at some point, because I know that last year Nia Jax came back, and she's already WWE Women's Champion. She's already Queen of the Ring. So, it took Nia a couple of years to get her act together and become more mature, I guess, if you will, as far as the business goes. And obviously, if that can happen to Nia, it could definitely happen to one or perhaps all three of these former WWE superstars. But we'll have to wait and see. But big shout outs to Baron Corbin, Indi Hartwell, and Tegan Knox. We are definitely gonna miss them. And who knows? Maybe we will see them at some point in the future. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.